Hey, so welcome to the new rendition of What's the Deal, where DJ does not show his belly button for an hour, 5 minutes, and 39 seconds.
You know, in about a year, y'all gonna want to see that belly button. I'm losing daily.
If you keep stepping on my headset cord, I'm going to murder you.
Maybe get it out from under my foot.
Oh, God.
Oh, there we go.
Are you still in frame?
Yes, I'm still in frame.
Pull my mic down. Got it. All right, we are here. All right, we have a special guest on the set today. His name is Bruno. And Bruno loves to get pet. Mm-hmm. That's his favorite thing. So as long as I pet him, he will stay right there. And if I quit petting him, he will go visit DJ until DJ quits petting him. And then the vicious cycle continues.
Back and forth. He may be the one that clicks the clicker after this.
That would be funny. So fun fact, when Amanda and I decide to get married, whenever that's going to be, she wants Bruno to walk her down the aisle.
Heck yeah. Put a white bow tie, white tie.
Bro, he already is wearing a tux. Yeah, he's tuxed up, man.
Oh, dude, you go in with a brown, like a light sand brown tuxedo as well, which I can't wait to see you on a tie.
I don't know that you're going to get there. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'll be in a tie at your wedding. Don't worry about it.
So this is my Sunday best, guys. Like, I have nothing left to give. We just went to first thing we just did is we went to Miami to go see Tom Ferry, and I guess that is relevant because we're supposed to be talking about real estate on this thing. And so if you don't know who he is, Tom Ferry's #1 real estate coach in North America. And we are inside of his teams group, which is your bigger producer, large producer group. Very small, intimate setting, typically like 50 to 70 people. There's actually a lot there. I guess it's because it was the beach and it was Miami.
It's Miami.
Yeah, so I think we probably had closer to 100 at this one. Last one was way smaller. And but it's really cool because normally when you sit with Tom, you're sitting with like 10,000 people. This is a real small group. Like Tom at one point was sitting at my table having a conversation. And so really, really neat to get to be around people who get to meet people like the president and Bezos and Elon, because he is a world-renowned sales coach and just majorly respected. Whether you love him or hate him, he is respected in the real estate industry. And I'm telling you all that to tell you, when I said that this is my Sunday best, that trip was 7 days. I didn't have any clothes, underwear, socks, shirts, jeans. I had nothing left when I got home from that trip. That was everything I had in a suitcase and a half. So the first thing that we do when we get home from trips is I have to wash all my clothes because otherwise I would have nothing else.
You know, there's a group here now that'll do that for you.
What?
They'll do all your, like, go on a week-long trip. You just drop all your laundry off. They'll have it all washed, dried, folded, and back to you in 24 hours.
I mean, not to be completely misogynistic here, but Amanda takes care of that.
Well,
you know,
where time is valuable in our lifestyles, it's one of those. It's just a.
Yeah, but for clothes, so now the folding and the hanging part, I get that. But
I don't think they're going to hang it, but they'll fold it for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't mind doing laundry at all.
Yeah, I hate doing laundry. It's the one.
That's because you have 3 kids.
I do, and a kid's batch of laundry is the equivalent of like 3 of my loads of laundry and folding time and stuff like that. But outside of that, what I was saying, it's one of those. The beauty of, you know, the free market American system with all of these people moving here, there was just this, well, there's going to be a bunch of guys living in trailers not wanting to do their laundry. We'll go do it for them, and created a business out of it. And a couple girls from North Monroe did that. They bought a building that you would not expect to be where they're doing that at, and been knocking it out.
Good for them. Love it. I love capitalism.
I do too.
Big fan.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So speaking of capitalism, let's talk about. I want to specifically talk about Meta and the local rental market. That has been a big topic, and I've seen. So there's this Amber Perez chick. Don't know her at all. I've never met her. We're friends on Facebook. I'm sure you've seen, because you're kind of rooted in the.
I have no comment.
Political. Well, we're not gonna like. I was just. She was bringing it to light, and it's definitely a thing that we know. is a thing. I'm not going to call it a problem. I'm going to call it capitalism. But
let me say this.
Yeah.
As someone that has sat behind the curtain, people, please understand she doesn't know everything she's talking about. She has no idea what a lot of these things. Let me just say that.
I think I just struck a chord with
you.
DJ.
Really did. There's some dots that are trying to be connected that are just not even in the same conversation. It's a lot of misinformation. Oh, I shouldn't say a lot. A lot of it's true, but some of it is misinformation, and it's just not.
It sounds to me
true.
like a lot of ChatGPT research, and that's what it looks like to me. But anyway, I am about as non-political, and nor do I. I'm super agnostic when it comes to that.
Not I.
But, well, I know, yeah, we have political aspirations, and we have keep me away from politics.
Well, not necessarily. I would say aspirations, yes, but also as someone that when all of that was going on,
yeah.
I mean, my job was economic development. And so it was working in those projects and on those projects. And I told somebody this the other day. They were like, hey, this is the idea. I need this kind of space. And I'm like, all right, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm not ready to tell you that. I was like, well, man, it will help me find you something better if you can tell me what you're trying to accomplish here. You don't have to give me all the details. And I promise you, I'm not going to go open this kind of business. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, if I tell you this and it gets out, we'll never do business. I was like, man, good commercial realtors are very, very quiet.
Hand me an NDA. I always look, hand me a non-compete and an NDA. I'm willing to sign whatever. I don't want your idea. Yeah. I don't like.
In what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do, I would like to deliver something to you because, in real estate, what's the first three rules is location, 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 right?
100%.
And what you're trying to accomplish, there are certain, if you're trying to open a restaurant, you need to be in a high traffic area. If you try to put a restaurant out in the middle of nowhere, it can work. I mean, some of the best restaurants we had in South Louisiana were back in deep in the bayous.
But it's an anomaly, not a rule.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's an exception.
So if you're adding something that's a service or it's where people are gonna come to you because you're the only one you're doing that, okay, you can be here. But if you're in something like that's an addition to what people are doing, you need to be in higher traffic areas to get that business. And part of those conversations, that was the case. It was like you have to be in a certain space to make sure your business is going to stand the test of time. Because at the end of the day, just go back to the restaurant industry. Most restaurants and bars close within the first 3 years of opening. Mm-hmm. Most. I think the statistic's something crazy like 90%. If you last longer than that, which I had the privilege of lasting, I think we lasted 8 years in the restaurant and the bar business. Part of it, I think people also confuse bars and clubs. Mm-hmm. They call them the same, but they're not the same.
No, very, very different.
Enox is 100% a bar. Mm-hmm. Shenanigans is 100% a bar. Neat was 100% a club.
Yeah.
Right? And so clubs, if you get 3 to 5 years out of a club,
you're doing good.
You're doing good. If you get 3 to 5 years out of a bar, it's not, you got a lot of debt.
Yeah.
So you try to place these things in a way or help. I like to help clients place them in a way where I think this is a good location. The price might not always be the best, but sometimes and that's why you get some of the properties we're pricing on the interstate and stuff like that. That's why interstate properties are going to be more expensive than something tucked away. And it's all about place and location and traffic. And there's a lot of factors that come in all of this, but in some of those conversations, part of why we were selected in this area was because, one, the property is fairly inexpensive. Two, the location was really good because it's kind of off the beaten path. And three, there was a need for the state. The state was throwing a lot of stuff at this, and there's economic development organizations in every corner of this state, and it's their job with the quote people moving the needle in economic development. So business leaders, elected officials, stuff like that, they get together and try to figure out, all right, how can we better develop our region and create things in a way. And the site where Meta landed, that was a state-owned site for well over 10 years. Mm-hmm. and it was a state-owned site because the farmland wasn't the most fertile. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great, and it was better. It was better for our region if we can recruit something that brought in jobs. And 7,500 construction jobs over the course of about 10 years, and 500 jobs long term. That's a good recruit to our community, especially when since 2003, when I moved here, we lost State Farm, we lost the guide plant, Bashable lost the paper mill. We've just constantly been on this decline.
Yeah, the effect of the economy on $100,000 plus jobs is massive, guys. You're talking about 500 homeowners. You're talking about 500 people who likely have kids who are going to school. You have 500 people who are eating at our restaurants, who are buying vehicles, who are shopping in our boutiques. I can tell you one thing that I love, a space that I love right now for Northeast Louisiana, is I actually like the restaurant business right now for Louisiana, or for Northeast Louisiana.
So when I had it, the statistic was Ouachita Parish had more restaurants per capita than any other parish in the state, and it's because
But it was always Mexican restaurants.
well, we had a lot of Mexican restaurants. You had a lot, even for me, like Pickle Barrel. You had Pickle Barrel, Field House, and Dax. So we're all right there by each other. We all had the same hamburger. We all sold wings. We all sold beer. Like we were a sports bar kind of place. It was kind of the same but very different in each element.
I think we should play a game real quick. Rank the restaurant, and you have to give me in the top three of the ones you just named: Pickle Barrel, Field House, Dax. Name your 1, 2, and 3.
In those, I'm going to be biased. Mine was number one, then Field House, then Dax. Look, Joey at Field House and Traps and everything. Joey's one of those people.
He's really good at restaurancing.
Well, yes, and it is not a business for the weak. You see dentists and doctors and attorneys open restaurants and they close.
Come up every day.
And it's because in that restaurant industry, like it is really, 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 reiterate this, pennies and nickels and dimes matter. They matter. Like if you can serve, I used to tell Jessica this, the best business decision she ever made, I think it's one of the smartest things she's ever done. And only I think restaurant owners will understand this. We were going through, we had squeeze bottle ketchups. We were going through 2 cases a week. And constantly when you're cleaning off plates, you're seeing just globs of ketchup go in the garbage. Because people get them and they squeeze them. She was like, we got to do something to cull that. And so she ordered glass bottle, the Heinz glass ketchup, which it's hard to come out. We went from 2 cases a week at $36 a case to 1 case a month it was like $22 a case. And it was just that much waste was going on. But it's those little bitty business decisions like that that don't really, like, you're not replacing a product. You're just doing something in a way that cuts, and like now it's just cutting into the bottom line every week. And so you make those little bitty adjustments throughout the course, and Joey's really good at seeing those and making those little adjustments that retain those pennies and dimes, month over month. And because at the end of the day, Monroe it's not as much of a college town as Ruston is, but it is still a college town. And when college is in, hell, I saw it at church this year. Like the first week of school for ULM, my church went from half full to, holy cow, where'd all these people come from?
Yeah.
And it's just kids coming back from home, and they're here and they're enrolled, and so there's this boost to the economy when school is in. I mean, August to May, it's a lot more different economy than it is in the summertime. But in that same breath, that same regard, any restaurant owner that stays open more than 3 years, dude, that's somebody that has a pretty good vision of what's going on. And I mean, he's been in business since we've been. I think it took him 3 years out of college.
I'm about to say he started Fieldhouse almost immediately after college.
I know he was coaching at OCS for a little while. Did the football thing. Joey and I we have somewhat similar stories. Both walk-ons to the sports we played. Both played a ton. Both eventually had scholarships by the time we graduated. Both from South Louisiana and stayed here. It's just but he's figured the restaurant stuff out. Now, is he interested in taking on any other restaurants? Probably not.
I mean, he's got like
the margins in the
like
restaurant
that.
industry. You better enjoy working hard to get about 7-8%. I think he's starting to get into the real estate thing a little bit. And
Do you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
please.
he's starting to
Joey
see. Yeah.
Dear God, Joey
and
is
then-
not a restaurateur anymore. I mean, yeah, he still owns restaurants, but I mean, that dude is. I mean, he's doing some crazy stuff. Housing, large equipment. He's doing a ton of stuff out in Richland Parish.
And West Monroe and West Texas and
yeah.
yeah.
So, and I don't know all the guy's business. I just know he's out there killing it, and I'm proud of him. Happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool to see. Small towns. There's not as much opportunity here as there is in like larger economies. Mm-hmm. We also deal typically if we sell products, our products are cheaper here. Like for instance, real estate. Mm-hmm. I will never a realtor in Monroe, Louisiana, will never have the opportunity that a realtor in California or Dallas has, right? And so when you see someone go out and go, I don't care how much harder I have to work, I'm going to go get it. And you do have to. You're not a tree. You can move. And so he went and started investing in West Texas. And
it was a grind. West Texas was a grind. They'll tell you anybody
West
in there.
Texas sucks, just to be clear.
It does, but once they, and that was all, what's wild about that is how information travels. Remember, Finkley came back and he's like, man, people were paying $300-400 a night to stay at a Best Western in Odessa, Texas. Mm-hmm. There's got to be other ways. And you start having those conversations enough. The guys that are from here that are out pipelining and doing that stuff, and they get moved over there. And then you have people like Joe, entrepreneurs who are like, well, I bet you I can figure it out. Let's go buy some sand. They went and bought some sand, put some plumbing down, and it took them a while to get heads and beds there, but once they did, it's like us. Like once you get that one customer that really is, hey, we do this all over the country. If you can follow us, we will do this business with you. Because once the business is had, until the relationship is scarred, or somebody feels like they're getting screwed over, they'll do business with you if they feel like it's a fair deal, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was one of those. They grinded it out for quite a while, and then they finally figured it out. And now figuring it out has turned into other opportunities in other markets. And then we have a big, data center that lands here, which I have a feeling we'll have a couple when it's all said and done. Mm-hmm. And then even also Amazon landing in Vicksburg affects us because we naturally thought that Delhi, Rayville, like all of the Winsboro, the northeast rural area was going to get, your RV parks and your man camps and your new housing and new things like that. Well, now there's even more of a need because those guys working there, they can do that around Vicksburg, but there's already infrastructure being built here. Mm-hmm. Now there's multiple projects they can bid in the market. Like it makes it where workforce, your contractors and all of that, they're now looking at the region and saying, okay, maybe we should open an office. Maybe we should do that,
Well, and we're already established. Like there's tons of RV parks and mobile home parks and all that stuff that's been established in Richland Parish and then maybe even further down the line closer on the interstate access side of Delhi where, that's only a 30-minute drive to Vicksburg at that point. Well, 30 minutes is an extremely acceptable commute for that.
My dad, growing up in South Louisiana, the chemical plant my dad worked at, he said he was a guy he worked with that drove 2 hours every day because he wanted to live where he wanted to live, but the job paid really well. So he was good with the commute. We had our chief administrative officer of the city. She drove from Sarapata, like south of Shreveport, every single day to come to work.
Nope.
And it was because she was from here, but then she married somebody that lived there and moved there, and they had horses, and she raced horses and stuff all the time. But that's
just so much of your
lived.
life energy. That's 3 hours a day.
Yeah, but her daughter lived in Ruston, and her granddaughter lived in Ruston. So it was part of, like, she'd stop in and go see them, and it was the way it worked for her. For everybody's different,
I remember when I spent a small stint on the pipeline. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I was a pipeliner.
I worked in electrical contracting. That was my summer job. My dad was an electrician, so I grew up in wood framed houses.
And me and Adam, we were trying to save money on lodging, obviously, and so we commuted a very, very long way. I mean, it's an hour and a half each way. And man, let me tell you, that was for the birds because we were having to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, eat, grab coffee, and then drive to the site for your safety meeting in the morning. And then you do a 12 out there in the hot sun. Now, Adam got to sit in the truck, but they let me sit in the truck for about 2 weeks. And they were like, Adam, you don't need a helper. Your helper needs to go to the work truck. And so they put me in a work truck, and I was the only English speaker in the entire crew. Let me tell you something. 'Twas tons of fun.
Look, I
got good at sales.
Chili Verde, I was my first one in West Monroe. There were 3 of us that spoke English.
Yeah.
There was no training. There was like, hey, here we go. We need a bartender. Everything. And I don't speak a second language. I speak English. That's about it. I wish I knew more, but I don't.
Yeah.
I had to write all my orders in Spanish. I had to like everything. Yeah. It was, I lasted a week at that location. And I called the guy that hired me. I was like, look, man, I can't do this because the English barrier, the language barrier is just too difficult. And one other person that spoke English was Julie, whose family owned it, and she kind of sat at the front, the register, and there was one other guy from Puerto Rico that spoke English and Spanish. And, he would tell me to go cuss out the kitchen, and I didn't know what I was saying, but I would go back there, and, everybody would laugh, and we'd have a good time. And then,
it's like teaching a kid their first dirty word.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Oh, my God.
It was great. But there was definitely an issue with the language barrier in that. So I can only imagine working in heavy construction in the heat, side by side. I was at least behind the bar. Like I was kind of.
Oh no, I was in the truck, and I mean, I was really more than anything because the work really wasn't that hard. Like I mean, it was a lot of work, but it wasn't like crazy hard work for a helper. It was just 110 degrees, dry, 12 hours, no human communication whatsoever. Like none. Like maybe Adam would come for lunch. He'd come grab me and be like, "Hey, I got you an hour. Let's go." And I'd be like, "Oh, thank God!" Like English. Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun experience. Character building, some would say. Yeah. We have not done a good job of staying on.
We did a little bit. So we're talking about the housing market in this area, and
I think we should just stay where we're at right now because we're at 20 minutes currently, and. Yeah, so we're starting this new format where all of our episodes are going to be 20 minutes and we're going to do multiple drops per week. So you guys just called. So I did my best. I'm actually going to blame DJ here. I did my best to throw a great topic out there. And then DJ got gaslit